All right. Once again, you're all welcome to our live session this evening. It's a pleasure to have you guys here. And of course, we would like to go through the markets this week. One thing I want to personally update us on is that I also, like some of you guys have said earlier, I also have reached a new high in my equity in my portfolio. Now that happened yesterday, pretty early in the morning, much more than 17%. Um, Yesterday, almost at 80% yesterday. Uh, so just got 17%, but now we're around 15%, which is very interesting. Now, so far so good. Like I said, so far so good. We're doing really well, and good to it's good to always take a step back and remember that we're having a fantastic year so far. If I close my running trades now at 15%, what that means is I would very well be up 28% in May. 28% in May. So that's not the only insane thing, but that if we allow this race to continue running and if they play out as we expect, as we have done with our analysis, if they very well play out, we're expecting about 55 hour, or let's say 55%, if all of these trades play out. Now, it's not a guarantee, like I said, but it just shows that, yeah, there's so much potential with the trades. And let's see how far these trades can really go. That's what we want to find out. But yeah, like I said, so far, so good. I'd like to share my screen now that I can update you guys on what we have on the chat. So let's see. All right, can you guys see my screen? Anyone?
Yes, we can see this.
Okay. All right. That is good. Thank you. So let's go over the markets that we have. We'll start with currencies. Any strange updates? Not really. In my very opinion, I wouldn't say anything too strange is happening right now. AJ is still like where we discussed last time. Cat GPY, like I said, I'm also expecting a breakout, so nothing has happened so far. CHF GPY is still moving sideways, and yes, I very well expect a breakout because with the breakout, it just puts us at an advantage. Sorry, that's who. So I very well expect a breakout on CHF If that happens, that will be so good because it helps our overall idea on this market. Euro JPY is not ready, still not ready, but of course, still waiting for the breakout. So let me just adjust these arrows so that we still very well understand what we're waiting for. Yeah. So same thing, right? So press the breakout and then the retest. That's what we're patiently waiting for on Euro JPY. Pound JPY, there was a pullback yesterday. Let me see. There was a pullback yesterday, yep, and now it seems like price is finding support around this region. And that reminds me, Johnny, I think you're long, but it does look like you're stopped out. Is that correct?
Yeah, I actually got stopped out.
Yeah, because I just looked at the yes, let's look at this, and I think this was your entry. So it seems like we're stopped out. Now price is back to the level like I said, and as we can see, it's showing signs of bullish reactions right here. So the overall trend might still continue. It does look like it is primed to still continue to the upside. The last time we had this break and retest failed, so I'd like to see what happens here. I think the last time, Yusuf is not here at the moment, but I think he was long around this level at the time. But the break and retest pushed in profit, but then failed, and now is presenting another opportunity second time. So let's see if this will respect the support and then continue to the upside. We'll find out. Ended the JPY, pretty much the same thing. I expect further decline, and maybe price will give us that breakout retest that I'm expecting. So, USD we didn't quite find support here, so I'll take this guy out. We might come down to retest, I'm not sure. Or, I don't know, the market can just do what it wants to do. But yeah, this is what I have for UJ. I'm still expecting upside confirmations long term. Just a matter of if the market will decide to do that from here, or if we're going to have another test of the key level. So this is also what we're going to find out. Let's see. 80 card. So we're back to the downside. We tested the level, like this level, tried to break above it, but as you can see from the weekly time frame, we are still trying to maintain the level at the lower high. Now, it's still a question, right? Will the market really, will price really form the lower high at this level? That's what the market is going to help us answer. But so far, it does look like the market is trying to respect this level at the lower high. And this is to show you that sometimes when price is trying to break a level, I think we've seen this too many times, or when price is trying to break a level, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has broken, right? And that's why I pretty much try to use, okay, Yusuf is here, wonderful. So that's why I pretty much try to use monthly levels to kind of, not as a guarantee, but then if we have a break on the monthly, it is much more solid than having a breakout on the daily, right? Same thing as you go down the time frame. So you see that we tested here, tried to break above, and now we're breaking back in. Ordinarily, you think that after this bullish breakout, that's like the end, because this looks like the retest, then the bullish candle. So in some cases, some person wants to buy this, but you can see that price just turned around to the downside. And then if you come back to the weekly time frame, you see that it wasn't really a breakout. It was in fact a fake out, right? So these are the things we check for. These are the things we look out for as we try to trade. And now you see why I lean into the higher time frames. This is why. It is because the higher the time frame, the more solid the analysis looks or is. You have less noise, you have more confirmations. Everything is just solid. So the same patterns you see on lower time frames, you see them on the higher time frames. The difference is because of the time frames which they form, you're much more likely to have success creating those patterns on the higher time frames. So I think that's
Casey,
so yep.
Do you draw key levels on daily time frame?
No. I draw levels, yes, but I don't consider them as key levels. The only key levels I use
can we probably draw a quick check on Euro card? So I think there's possibility that is it probably Euro card or pound card. I think is you drew your key level on daily time from there, because I think last week that you took the trade or something like So I don't know if okay, maybe probably once we reach there, Euro card and pound card
on the daily time frame. Let's see then. 80 card. So this is that for 80 card. Euro card. This is Euro card. Is this what you're speaking of? Abdul, is this the time? Is this the pay you're speaking of? Abdul, can you hear me?
Hello. I'm sorry, I just unmute myself. I didn't notice. So, like, I'm talking about this key level. This one.
You mean key level where we're buying from?
Yeah. Key level where we're buying from. Like, isn't it a daily key level or something?
Nah, it's not. It's not. It is not a daily killer. It's a
Okay.
12-month level actually.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay.
a 12-month level. Yeah.
You know, actually, I think is it not last week we took this hero card? So then like I noticed that like when we were explaining like this, like you just drew out this key level, like during the session, like it was just on daily time frame. So I noticed then that you draw your key levels on daily time frame too.
Oh, you
I
mean
think
this bar here? I think I just drew this bar to like explain, to
yes,
lay more
yes,
emphasis on the level since we're in the, not
yeah,
necessarily I
yeah,
did
yeah.
anything trying to know.
Yeah, that's what we did during our session last week. So that was, I for a moment I thought
Yeah.
whether you draw your key levels on daily time frame.
No, 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 no. I just drew this. If I take this out, you still have the key level, right? It's still here. I just drew the bar to give to lay more emphasis on the level since we're dealing with the level at the moment. That's why. So I think that kind of clears up the point. I don't draw key. I draw levels on the daily, yes, but not key levels. So that's the difference.
Okay,
So any levels that you see with the black dotted line, I regard as key levels. So if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, your card. Yeah, your card. So like I said, we pushed hard yesterday, and that's why I said we peaked really hard. Today we're pulling back. That's okay. Still slightly in profit, just above break even, but that's fine. Pound card. We're trying to break out. We had a measure of success. Let's see how we look on the weekly. So on the weekly time frame, we're trying to break, right? We're trying to break. And I am hoping we have the break this week or maybe next week. Hopefully we do. If we have a double top here, it will kind of delay price action a bit more. So hopefully we have the breakout this week. If that happens, that would be beautiful to see. So let's see how pound card plays out. But we are seeing some attempt to break past this highs. While getting towards into the territory of 1.86, which is good. And yeah, the next step, in my opinion, is for us to get towards 1.88. That would mean like we've cleared out the highs completely. So we'll see how that also plays out. Right? NZ card, yeah. So we're still maintaining the level, like I said, and we're tuning to the downside. So we didn't pull back to the entry completely, but we are just finding resistance around this level, which is still interesting because, like I said, overall, I'm expecting downside continuations. USD card, nothing too crazy. Waiting for the breakout, it hasn't happened yet. Euro AUD, nothing to see here, to be honest. Euro NZD, nothing to see here. Now, of course, this looks like a break and retest. It is a break and retest. Okay, the difference is the fact that this breakout was not on the monthly time frame. It broke out and broke back into the level on the month in the same month. So that's why I am interested in this guy at the moment. So what I'm expecting is if we try and break out a second time and maybe if we retest, I would love to take that. So I'm not completely removing Euro NZD. No, that's not the case. I'm just waiting to see if we can have the exact pattern I'm looking for, and then I'll get involved. Pound AUD. Interesting. So yeah, maybe we won't retest. I don't know. But like I updated today, whether or not it presents an opportunity to enter, I think that we're looking at upside continuation. So let's see. Let's see. We may just have missed this. Let's see. Pound NZD, on the other hand, is pushing profit. So some new highs since the consolidation. Now the interesting thing about pound AUD and pound NZD is that if pound AUD moves and we miss out on the entry, it would, in the same sense, mean that pound NZD will most likely play out. The difference was I was hoping I could get it too, if this guy was to come down, but so far it hasn't happened. But yeah, either way, let's see what happens. with these guys. So, but yeah, so far so good, pound entity. If you held this trade, kudos to you, because I think you can see the very result of your patience. Of course, it is not a guarantee that pound entity is going to play out, but you can see what it means and how beautiful it can be to just hold your trades and allow the market to be the market. Right, from being in drawdown, being in profit, coming back into drawdown, staying for quite a while. Just seeing how these trades develop in real time, which is beautiful to see. 80 USD, same thing, right? Same thing. Just consolidating. And euro. Okay, so this is where I want to spend a bit more time. EU. So I added EU longs as well as USCHF shorts. So these are $2 trades I'm currently holding. And these are two trades that are against the US dollar. Now, the reason why I'm highlighting this is because I have mentioned countless times as to the fact that we might have dollar strength. But you see, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to use how I feel, what I see in terms of some of the fundamentals to judge where a currency or an asset might be headed. The reason is because I want to give you guys an example right here, EU. This is one example we can very well relate to because most of us did sell EU at this price. Now we sold this guy with so much confidence that it was going to drop, but it didn't, right? It did not drop. In fact, we were kind of blown away. We took a loss, yes, but we were blown away by EU. I personally did not expect prices to come to this point, but it did, right? You saw how the tariffs came in. We saw the uncertainty clear. We saw everything that's happened. It just tells you that nothing is really certain in the market, right? Nothing is really certain. So when you approach the market with that mindset, it kind of frees you of certain things because if I'm stuck on downside confirmations on Euro USD, then I would be feeling weird or feeling bad trying to buy this guy, but I'm not. The reason is because my system is presenting an opportunity. It is left to me to decide how I see it. Do I see it as an opportunity or do I see it as a trade that is definitely going to stop out? So right now, we don't know. Okay, we cannot tell if EU will play out or not. We cannot say for certain if Euro USD will move to the upside or to the downside. I mean, if we were certain, there will be no need for risk management there. Absolutely not. It is because we don't know for certain that we use risk management, and that is why I have just 1% of my entire portfolio risked on this guy. Interestingly, if E does not play out, then it means that, of course, we're back to the downside, and that's okay because it means that we'll have more opportunities to sell, right? But if we come to the weekly time frame, it is a break and retest. And why am I now trying to buy EU? It is because we have broken out of the supposedly last barrier for sales, and we might be having that trend change because if you come on the monthly, it is this breakout in April that made us interested in trying to buy EU because ordinarily, as long as we're below 1.12, we're looking at sales to the downside. But this breakout is very loud. It seems pretty loud, and yeah, let's just see if we have a successful break and retest. And if the US dollar would weaken a little bit more, then maybe we're headed to 1.80. But if not, then this will be a fake out. And then I can trade this guy back to the downside, which is fine. So at the end of the day, we just stay patient and allow the market to be the market. Interestingly, if we don't continue to the upside, we end up forming a break and retest. I would also be interested in selling back to the downside because that would mean that this is very well picked out. So let's see how this plays out. Pound USD as well. We're now breaking out, which is also interesting. So yeah, maybe the dollar will strengthen once again, maybe or maybe not. So we allow the markets to decide, and we just take our trades as they are designed. Now I have a different system entirely that frowns at dollar sales. What it means is that frowns at dollar sales. What it means is the system frowns at buying AU, EU, pound, USD, and anything that would mean that you're selling the dollar. The system frowns at it. So what it tells you is sometimes the results you're looking for are particular to the system. So in one system I am very well buying the dollar, but in this other system, I'm selling it. So is it wrong to sell the dollar? Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows for certain. You would only buy or sell an asset based on your analysis, based on what the system you trade. So you see these two systems at this point conflict with each other, and that's okay because they were not designed the same. But you see here that I am with these two systems taking the exact trade that I am supposed to take, even though they contradict each other. Why am I doing this? It is because I am taking these trades exactly as they are planned. Exactly as they are planned. If one system says sell the dollar, you sell it. If the other system says buy the dollar, you buy it. Okay? You don't want to use the process of one system to decipher what you do on the other system because they were created differently, if that makes sense. So that sort of explains the whole EU buys. It is a break and retest, and so far the direction of what is seemingly the overall trend. And yeah, just 1% of risk. If it stops out, and that's okay. Pound USD, like I said, is breaking out. Ended USD is also tuning to the downside, which, like I said, I expect more downside continuations. And then the Swiss franc pairs, ADCHF, nothing too interesting in these guys, to be honest. And yeah, USDCHF. So I'm also selling here, like I said. So I think these are the only two trades. Now, in terms of worry, I'm not necessarily worried about these trades, but of course, if the dollar strengthens, then they are more likely to stop out. And yeah, that's only going to be a 2% loss, which is fine. So I have 14 open trades. I think with the addition of EU, I think that made it like 14 open trades. And yeah, I think we have huge potential for these trades. All right. I don't know if you guys have any questions concerning currencies. If not, then maybe we'll just move over to indices. If that's okay.
Hi Casey. Good evening.
Oh, hey, Yusuf, how are you?
I'm fine. Good evening. Yeah, sorry, I have a question
Yeah.
around key level. That's a major part of my problem in trying to figure out key levels on higher time frame. So just to use a case study with AUD can you switch to AUD
All right.
Yeah, 12 months time frame.
12 months.
Okay, 12-month time frame. So I don't know if you have a level at 98.
Yeah, this is it.
Okay, good. So one thing I want to ask about it, if you look at this level, most of these reactions they are like rejection. So why are you not looking at a sell as your overall trend if that is a strong level, particularly on the 12 months? So because on the JPYs you have been kind of biased in terms of like buying. So why are you not like in terms of your analysis? Okay, if I think we are currently sitting at there's another level I have here at around 92.40. So is it possible that you can take sales if you break that 92.40 retest, then you can sell? I don't know if you understand
92.
my question.
Yeah, I do 92.40. I don't have any levels at 92.40. The only other level I have next is at 89.
Okay. Yeah, so
So,
if you have a breakout and retest of that of that level, can you take sales
of
based?
89, yes. Now, if
Yes.
we look at this, if we begin to break past this guy, then I'm looking for sales, of course. If we begin to
Okay.
break past this guy, I'm looking for sales, right? But
Okay.
so far, because the overall trend, because now you see what I look for to actually change my execution on trades for the most part is the direction of the money time frame, right? So far on the
Okay.
monthly, we're still bullish. This is like what I say. the make it or break it level on the monthly. So if we break this guy, then yes, I'll begin to look up for sales. But if we don't, then of course buys to take the center stage. So it's not like I don't have a reason to sell. I will only do that if we begin to break past this.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. So can you check?
So
Okay, yeah, can you check 97.50 if that's a valid level? I have it here. So
97 point.
okay, that's around 98 that you mentioned, right?
Yeah, around 98. So
Yeah, so this current
um,
trend that we have to the downside, if you go back up there to 98 and retest, based on your system, you can't take sales like that, and you have like strong rejections or a kind of structure that is showing like lower high. We have a lower high there already. Then if there is a kind of strong structure around that 98, you cannot take that as your sell, right?
no, because here's the thing, right? If we come back to 98, right? Think about it objectively. If we come back to 98,
Yeah.
um this is 89, right? This is 89.
Okay.
And first of all, if we look at the overall time frame, we have been bullish and now we've pulled back. Okay. If we come down to 98, two things can happen. Of course, we can reject 98 and drop down, right? But you see now that trying to sell from 98 would be, it's not, first of all, it's not the direction of the overall trend, okay? And it will be more
Okay.
like a range kind of move, right? It would be more like a range kind of move. Personally, what I
Okay.
would wait for is a break of 98, a retest to go long.
Okay.
You get a break of
Yeah.
98, a retest to go long. That's what that's what I wait for on AJ, or perhaps to come down here and find a retest. You see, it's any of these two scenarios I'm looking out for. I wouldn't want to sell in this price action. Now, I look at this as a pullback, considering how we're moving. So any move back to 98, in my opinion, is not really a preparation for downside moves. All right, it
Okay.
might range, right? It might range, but any move back here means we're actually closer to breaking out. If we come back to 98, it means we're closer to breaking out and continue the
Yeah.
uptrend than we are closer to dropping below 89. You get? So that's
Yeah.
why I with the system is like a cautious move to the trade. So that's why I would not sell here. No, not really. I would not. I mean, that would be me selling against the monthly trend, and I don't sell against the monthly trend. So that's just it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Hello, Casey.
yeah. I'm just going ahead.
Yeah, actually, I want to ask that does okay, go on, Carlos.
Adding to what said, I don't know if you'd actually consider where's the level. We would actually consider 94 as a level, because right here I'm having 94.385, and that's actually where I sold up from. So it actually even
Now,
after 88, I do have 98.4 and I do have 88.1. But in between the both of them, I'm having a level 94, which actually selling from at the moment, holding a trade from that level 94 points and 385.
all right. Now here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. When we speak of levels, and you want to remember that these are levels. Okay, I am not denying. For example, let's look at this. All right, let's say this break and retest that's currently happening here. Is price rejecting a level? Yes, it is. Clearly, it is. But the question is, which level is it rejecting? You get? I think it's the answer to the question that helps us understand where I am coming from, because it's not that 94 is not a level, right? Or this is not a level. It's just not a 12-month or 6-month or 3-month level. If that makes sense. These are all levels, okay? There are daily levels, there are weekly levels, there are monthly levels. So at these levels, these are levels, yes. But at these, and now the word key level is subjective, because what I would regard as key level may not be what some persons will regard as a key level. What I regard as key levels are 12 months, 6 months, and 3-month levels. These are levels that I find on these time frames one, and these are levels that go back in time, decades ago. It's levels that if you go back in 1990, you find a price action reacting to that. Okay, that's what I consider a level. For example, this level is only valid from what 2022, right? You can see the whole block of price action stemming from 2022. This is the level. Yes, it is. Is this a 12-month level? No, it's not. So even though it's a level, it's not a level I would want to take my trades from, if that makes sense. That's just the difference. So if you understand it like this, you see that it's not like this. These are not levels. These are levels, in fact, but it's just these the levels I am looking out to trade from. No, they are not. That's just the difference. And that's why you see I have them marked out, but I don't have them marked out with the dotted lines. That's what I use to differentiate between these levels. If that makes sense. So. Abdul, I think you also had a question.
Yeah, I have a question. Yes. Okay.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello. Yeah. Okay.
I can hear you.
Actually, I want to know whether like does this problem occurs with brokers? Because I think that was last week Wednesday. So I set a buy limit on Euro AUD, like when the breaker was going for his retest or something, and not basically like the price reached like where my buy limit was or something, but it didn't trigger. Because so I was like, okay, I think this level we are on the daily time frame.
Yeah, it is
Yes,
daily
that
time frame.
place. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I set my buy limit on that was last week Wednesday on 14.
So price came down to your entry, but it didn't trigger you.
Yeah, it didn't trigger the buy limit at all. Like it's still there till now or something. Like I don't know. So I don't know. So I want to ask whether like does this problem occur with brokers or not?
It does. Yeah, it happens sometimes. Sometimes a broker might not trigger you, but I think maybe if you can send me the screenshot, I can see that and see exactly how it looks, because you should not really be having problems getting filled if you're trading on the daily time on the higher time frames. I think more of the whole slippage and not having your orders filled usually happen on the lower time frames. So for your buy limit to be missed out on the daily time frame it happens, but it's quite rare. It's quite rare. So please, if you can, send me a screenshot of where you had your buy limit, and also what broker do you use?
Yeah, I'm using Exness.
Oh shit. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Well. Excellent. All right. Just send me a screenshot. All right. Just send me a screenshot. And let me see.
All right, okay. I'll do that after the session.
All right. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. Okay. Any other questions? Just before we move over to
You talked about the sales on Euro USD. I don't know if you can display the chart on Euro USD.
Yeah. This is EU.
Okay, I believe you are already on the trade EU at the moment, and you talked about that's getting to hit your stops, and then that would actually mean that EU is about to head towards the downside. But heading towards the downside, hitting your stops, stopping out as the case may be, nobody can tell. Does it mean that you'll be selling off 1.12, 1.1200, or you'd be waiting for 0.5072 before you take your sales?
Fine question. Now let me see. It's 1.05, but yeah. If we here's like the game plan. Okay, remember we're at a level where the market tends to decide if EU is prime for a bullish reversal, or if EU would still head to the downside. It is this level that would help us determine. So EU can do this. EU can still bounce here, get here, and still turn around. That can still happen. Okay. But here's my point. If we break below 1.12, I'm in for sales. I am looking for sales. The reason is that 1.12 is the last barrier for sales, is the last level I can look to sell from. Okay, but remember, I cannot sell if I don't have a break and retest. Okay, and remember that a break and retest on a level like this would happen as a manipulation. So, like we've had here, something like this can happen. At the end of the day, I need a break and retest. Okay, so I need to see that to look for sell. If we break below this, we pull back, and of course, I can look for sell. I would not sell when price was coming down here, if that makes sense. When price was coming up here, and that is against my rules. So I would need to wait for this break and the retest to look for sales to be downside. So that's like my game plan. So selling here and also looking out for more downsides on Euro USD if it happens. So let's just see.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, Cassie, please. My question is Euro NZD. Is it
Yeah,
bad to buy? Is it bad to buy? And also, does Euro NZD move together with GBP NZD? Because the way you said GBP odd and GBP NZD, like they move together. So does Euro NZD
yeah.
also move together with GBP and NZD? And is it a good time to buy? If you buy, is it wrong?
Of course, nice question. Now they all move together, quite frankly. Euro AUD, Euro AUD, Euro NZD, Pound AUD, Pound NZD, they all move together. The reason is because of the put pair, the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar. The pound and the euro are pretty stable themselves. That's why they have similar price action. So yes, Euro NZD and Pound NZD would move together as long as the euro is like fairly stable. Okay, remember the movement on these pairs usually come from the weakness of the other two. Okay, so if your NZD if the euro remains fairly stable, then of course, if the New Zealand dollar weakens, then you see your NZD also move as well. Is it wrong to buy? No, it's not. Even though I won't buy it, I think this is solid, right? Even though it doesn't just beat my rules, I think this is solid. So even though it bounces here, the only thing I would hope is that it would bounce and maybe just come back, close here on the monthly, and come back on another retest. Hopefully, that's what I would hope for. But is this wrong? It's not. It's not. It is not wrong. But just considering how it closed last month, it's not just something I would want to do right now. So I'm just hoping that this money candle would close a little higher, and maybe the next month will just tap there as a retest and take off. Hopefully. So it's not wrong to buy. In all honesty, it's not. It is not.
So if the weekly can you close above the key level? Is it also a sign of a good move?
Yes, it is. So if this month we have like a bullish candle close, a clear close above the key level, something around these highs, say maybe here like this, it's good evidence. The only thing I will now have to hope for is that we pull back and test and give me the opportunity to just get in. Now let me show you pound 80 to give you a better perspective. So this is pound. Let me take this out. Take this out. Take this out. So this is pound AUD, right? We had a breakout, we had a pullback, but not enough to give me a retest, right? So a breakout above the monthly is a good sign. The thing is, you just have to quote unquote hope that the next month or the next 2 months will give you the opportunity to buy at the level just before it runs up. So that's just the difference. So if we actually have the breakout this month, then of course that's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah. So any other questions just before we run over to indices. All right. Let's move over then. So let's see. Yeah, indices, nothing too crazy. Still having a bullish month for most of these guys. Um, I still have 3 open positions here, and so far they're doing really good. And I just continue to hold them and see if they do any better. That's about it. Gold. Let's see. Yeah, gold is bouncing away from this level. So far it is making the double top pattern to what I say fail. But I think at least until we break this, that will now confirm the double top pattern. So far, this might just be higher low for you, higher high. Who knows? Let's see. Um, Copper is in profit as well. Yeah, just above break even. Palladium is also pushed this week, which is good. Helped with the new highs in my portfolio. So push, although it's pulling back today, that's okay. Platinum as well, much higher than 1% as we speak. Yeah. So far so good, right? So far so good. And what else? Nothing. I don't have silver, so still waiting for the breakout. But yeah, I think this is the most I have. I think oil is not ready. No, not yet. I don't really have too much, to be honest. I don't have too much. I think I have natural gas. Natural gas. Is it here? Okay. Okay, yeah. It's done already. So, all right, yeah. I think this is the most I have. So once again, we're doing really good now. I think we have a journal to look at. So Johnny, I have your journal here. So I think we can take a look like that. Um, let's see. I think we can take a look at that before we close up shop. So okay, just before I move on, do you guys have any questions here? Because I'm about to flip my screen. So just making sure we completed everything.
Sorry, Casey.
Yeah, I promise.
I don't really have a question. I just want to say something. The screen is going black
Okay.
each time you're explaining.
Oh, really? That stuff still happens.
Yes.
Ah, shit. Okay. Is anybody else noticing this? Let me just make sure it's a general thing. Is anybody else noticing this?
Yeah, I am, but it's not that serious like before.
Oh, shit. Okay.
No, for me, it shows the charts.
Sorry, what?
It just shows the charts for me. The gas, natural gas.
Yeah, like, do you also experience the blackout sometimes?
Me no.
Oh yeah, sometimes it will come and go. It doesn't take long though.
Okay, okay. I thought I fixed that. That's why I'm surprised to hear this. But I would have to check because I output my screen differently. So I had a feeling that was the case, but I changed it. And let me see. I think we'll have to see how this goes next time. So if it happens again, like maybe in our next session, please guys, just let me know. Just let me know. Just let me know. All right. Let me see. All right. Can you guys see the journal?
Yes.
All right. Well done. All right. All right. So Johnny, uh, hmm. Now this took quite a while because the style of trading is quite different. So it's kind of taking me more time to understand it and also to kind of like give a broad review because of the metrics and things like that. So when I had a look at it today, I found it difficult a bit, but I have some questions. Okay, so I think you're here, so I think I can just ask you these questions. Is that fine?
Yes, yes, of course.
All right. So I noticed something. I don't know if it is a mistake, but um, the losses. For example, you have a loss here of $68,
Yeah, yeah.
and
That's
here you have a
that's what I was
loss
gonna
of
explain to you.
42. Sorry, what?
Yeah, I was just saying I had a feeling you were gonna ask me about that.
Yeah, because I was confused as to how that is happening. So I don't know if you can just help
Yeah,
me clear it up.
yeah. So um I don't know if you noticed, but basically, so for that one trade, I was risking about like 2.3%, 2.2%. So basically, all around, I'm risking like 2%, 2.2%. But I know from one of them, you could see a $83 loss. That one was actually a um yeah, I actually inputted the wrong lot size for some of them. So the profits the profits of course I'm risking more, I'm making more on the for my take profits, but it looks less for the P&L because either I got out early or the lot sizes were wrong also. So some of the lot sizes weren't
Uh,
consistent.
okay. And now this is making sense. But also, just the losses, right? This
Mhm.
is a -1 hour trade, and you have a $68 loss. But in the same 1 hour trade, you have a $40 loss. So that's also with the sizing, right?
Yeah. That
Okay.
uh I think that one I believe I closed early. That's the reason why. That's why some of them you see like a little bit less.
Okay. Now it's making sense.
Yeah, some of
Now
them
it's
I
making
didn't I
sense.
didn't wait till it hit full stop.
Okay. Now it's making sense. Okay. How about like this? For example, you have -0.08, and now you have a $40 loss. Or like, how would you explain that?
Um, I think that was supposed to be.
Because
Oh, okay, yeah, that's supposed to be -1 R, which was supposed to be around $60. So I closed that one out early.
okay. All right, just making sure so that these things are consistent, and so that it doesn't cause more confusion. Now, here's yeah, okay. So it's obvious that you close your trades early
Yeah,
because I
that's
saw it as a pattern, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I saw it as a pattern. I looked through some of the trades, and I would see closed early, closed early, closed early, closed early, closed early, closed early, closed early. So it's a pattern. It's a clear pattern. And I also saw that it was affecting the wins as well because I would see like a 2.4 hour trade, and then you end up making 29, and I'm like, okay. I would see like where's the other one? A 2 hour trade, you end up making 63 because I'm using the losses to compare the wins, right? If you're losing
Yeah.
63 on a 1% loss, I would expect you to be making like 120, right, on a 2 hour
Right.
win. So I was confused looking at this. Yeah, so that's what kind of like got me the confusion. Also, I'll see 2.2 here. Yet you're making 200. Does that mean you were risking $100 on the idea? I don't know. So it was kind of confused. I was confused looking at this. But um, do you think it is possible to make this consistent? The like the risk, because it's clear that you don't have a fixed risk per trade. So I think that's something you want to take down, okay? Because it is
Yeah.
affecting your P&L. At least I can see that that's the case. So please, if you can have a fixed risk per trade, so are you trading a real account, or is it like a demo account you're trying to work with? Like
Yeah,
with
this is
these stats.
yeah, this is just for what you call it? This is just for a like, how do I say? Like progress in a way. So this is just more for like stats. Like just
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
So the reason
just
I'm
trying.
asking is that I would know how you would adjust your risk. If this is a personal, if this is a real account or this is a demo account, it would help me know how I want to adjust your risk. So okay, what account size which you're dealing with?
Yeah, so this is a 3,000.
3,000. Okay. Um. Okay. So the reason I'm asking is so that I would know how you would adjust this. So for example, if you're gonna keep risk at like maybe 40, okay. So you want to keep it at that fixed. Okay, it means that you're not taking loss more than 40. Does that make sense? And your wins, if you're making 2R, you would have to make 80 as 2R. So I don't I think this is your updated journal. This is everything you have. So are you okay with making this adjustment using a fixed risk per trade? Like make it fixed.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can
That,
do
like I
that.
said, it's yeah. The reason why that it looked like the numbers are just all over the place is because some of them I had to go into the um the FX calculator, and then some of the pairs aren't this like they don't have the same lots. So some of them, so what some trades like more towards the end when you get closer to May, um the lot sizes, yeah, were a little messed up because I was risking a little. I risked less when I really should be risking more on the trade. That's why you see the P&L is a little. That's why their P&L is positive, but it's less than what the risk to reward is.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too. So I think, like you said, I think if it is possible, please make it fixed. Now with the lot size calculation and everything, it will mean that you have to calculate every trade, of course, so that you keep like a fixed risk. This way, it's easy to calculate your reward, like the arrows. Okay, it's easy
Mhm.
that way, so that we know that if you're making 2 hours, then it's like $80. 1 hour is 40 and things like that. So I want you to try a fixed risk for like a month. Okay, so I don't know. That's why I'm asking the question now. So if you have not already, then please see if you can adjust your risk. You can make it down to 40. That's fine for a month, just a month, and see how it looks. So that your P&L will reflect your P&L will reflect the same thing as your risk reward is showing. Is that fine?
Yes, yeah, that's fine.
All right. So I think it's the biggest thing I noticed here because it does look like you have positive expectancy from the overall trades. Something that I got confused with was impulse, breakout, and momentum. So I wasn't sure how to differentiate these three. Okay,
Mhm.
and so I wasn't sure like what would an impulse be then? What would a breakout be? What would momentum be like? How would you differentiate these things? Now remember that entry type is more like the entry pattern you use to enter the trades. For example, a breakout. A breakout is well considered as an entry type. H&S, head and shoulder, you can also consider that an entry type. But an impulse and momentum, I'm not sure where to quantify these things, right? So that's why I was also kind of confused, because an impulse, in a sense, is like a breakout, and an impulse is more like momentum. So it felt like the same thing, but
Yeah.
at the same time, you differentiated these
If
things. So I was also confused looking at it. So I don't know. Also, you used hidden divergence. So again, okay, like all right, B and R like break and retest. So break and retest, H and S, breakout. These are clear entry types, okay, or entry patterns. So I think it should also be like that. So maybe you might have to just explain
yeah, yeah,
momentum
yeah.
or impulse.
If you look at the photos, I don't know if you looked at the images yet, but if you looked at
I
the
did, I
images,
did,
yeah, then yeah, it'll
I
be
did. That's
easier.
what I'm confused. Let me give an example. Gold, right? So I looked at gold. Now look at gold. Before we open up gold, gold here says momentum, impulse, and engulfing candle. So momentum, impulse. Okay, we're taking these two things, momentum and impulse. So let's see, where's gold? Right here. So yeah, so this is gold, right? Momentum and impulse. Now, how would you describe momentum? Like using this chart, let me see this. Or sorry, so using this chart, how would you describe momentum and impulse?
Yeah, so momentum, I'm not really like when I put momentum, I'm not um it's not from where like my entry was. It's before that. So if you see where the zone is, that's where I would consider it as momentum because it's traveling up, it's going to the upside. And the
Okay.
impulse would be the candle that's breaking the previous high. Like
Oh,
you
okay. So
can see it there, but I
impulse.
didn't I didn't mark it up. Some images, like some images you'll see like I didn't mark up the resistance or support, but it's more for me it's like more visually. Like I can just already see it. So I don't mark it up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. But impulse, as you said, is the candle that breaks the previous high.
Yeah, so like so impulse that I would consider that well I also said I think I put down it was a breakout also.
No, you didn't. That's why I'm confused, because if impulse is the candle that breaks the previous high, then technically it's a breakout, right?
Yeah, yeah, right. So
So that's why
when I say yeah, when I say impulse, I meant like the move the move on the candle, like on the lower time frame.
okay,
I know
okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I don't know if I put another picture.
No,
Um
it's just this true.
hold on, let me open. Oh, I can't see my okay.
All right. So impulse is not necessarily an entry type, because that's what I'm trying to understand here. It's more like um the candle is moving like it's an impulsive candle, like it's moving with momentum, right?
Mhm.
Listen, let's see. So, are you with me, Johnny? Are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So, what I'm trying to understand here is impulse is not necessarily an entry type. Is that correct?
What do you mean by that?
So, an entry type would be like a breakout or a break and retest, right? A break and retest is an entry pattern. So, impulse is not like any pattern itself. It's more like how the candle moves, right?
Right.
Okay. Because I'm trying to make sense of that, so that I know exactly what I'm dealing with. Same thing with momentum, right? So momentum is not necessarily an entry type, or an entry pattern. It's more like the candle was
Oh, I
forming
see.
momentum.
Yes, I see what
Yeah,
you're saying.
so that's what I'm trying to get. Because, for example, a breakout is a breakout. Like we know it's an entry type, or an entry pattern. A H and S is head and shoulder, so we know. So when we come to the chart, when I see a H and S, I come to the chart looking for H and S. You get. When I come to the
Yeah.
chart, see a break and retest, I know I'm coming to find a break and retest. But then if you say impulse and when you say momentum, these are not entry patterns. So when I come to the chart, even though I would find momentum, it's not necessarily supposed to be under this column. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to think of a way that would make you explain this, but still make it make sense. So let's see. Let's see. So let me pull up another chart. So let's go. Gold is here. Momentum and impulse. So let me see. Okay, so Euro AUD. So I also cannot edit your chart, so that's why it's kind of difficult. But let's see. Let me take these guys out. So here, okay. So we look at this. This is your AUD on 4 time frame and on the hourly time frame. Okay. So now here's the thing. If we come back here, we're gonna see. Sorry. Let me see. Your AUD was a breakout and an impulse. So let me see. Hold on. So how would you explain the impulse here? That's the thing. That's why I said I was confused with these words. So how would you explain the impulse on your AUD? Was it breaking out to the downside with was that an impulsive move?
Yeah, that's the reason why I was taking it. Because
Okay.
right by the if you see the entry, I could see it broke out. So I was anticipating for it to go lower.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Now let me see if I can find something else. Another impulse. Something to make it look similar. Because let me see. US card. Okay. US card. Let's see. Yeah. Hold on. US card is April. Okay. Okay. Yes, it's done. So on USD card we have hold up, I think there's something else. Okay. Higher time frame. Okay, so here's the thing, okay? Let me pull up something else. Something else with just info. No, not the break-even chart. Let me see. 80 NZD impulse. Okay. So um but then it doesn't have a stick. All right. So what I'm noticing here is there are differences. Okay. So it means that one thing you have to really work on is your entry time, because think about this. You said these two trades are both regarded as impulse, and if you look at this, I think there's a better way to explain this trade, because yes, it's an impulse, but you see that first of all it's a reversal, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and secondly, I'm trying to look at like if you use any levels to buy, right, and then if this is an impulse, when you come here, you want to see something similar, but it's not. It's different, right? USD card is a continuation trade, and also you don't have the column here, which would signify if it was a reversal or if it was a continuation. It is not here, so we can't really decipher that. My point here is these two trades are regarded as impulse. That is the only thing on the column. But you see that these two trades are completely different. So before looking at the chart, you think that they're similar, but they're not. This is a reversal. They're just these two trades are not the same, not in any way. This looks more like a break and retest.
Yeah, I see
An
what you're saying.
impulse, exactly. It's an impulse, yes, but it is a break and retest. So if you're looking at like the entry type, yeah, I think a break and retest will be a befitting story to this trade than just using impulse, because an impulse is kind of vague, because most candles move in impulse. I mean, most
Mm-hmm.
candles are impulsive. You get so
Yeah,
I think
that's why
um
in the that's why I was actually debating on even putting impulse in the entry type.
okay, because it might cause confusion, right?
Yeah, cause I actually I was trying to look up the definition of the difference between impulse and momentum, and most of them,
And they're pretty similar.
yeah.
Pretty
So
similar. So
yeah,
I
some of them.
think
So the ones so for the reviews that don't
go
have like
ahead. Go ahead.
anything written, I left it blank because I just wanted to see what you would say.
Sorry for what?
Yeah, so for the reasons of the trade, I just some of them that are left blank, I left them blank because I wanted to see what you would say about it.
Okay. But that's okay. That's okay. Of course, you need to have reasons. But what I see here is now notice the pattern here, right? Because these are your wins. Okay, all of these are your wins. But then you can see that for the most part, you either close at break even or you close too early. So that's something you just have to already note out that maybe your emotions are getting the better of you while you're holding your trades, because all of these trades supposedly paid out. But I looked at this, and your losses are pretty lesser than your wins. So I'm trying to make sense of why your P&L is not reflecting the exact same thing, and that's why I started to see these differences. So first off, you need a fixed risk so that you can make sense of the reward. Okay, so that
Yeah.
when you're down 5R, you don't like that's 5%. So that it doesn't fluctuate, because when you have a fixed risk, it helps you understand better how your system works. Secondly, it's obvious from your wins that you close trades too early, so that's already something else you have to work on. These are the two things.
Yeah,
The third
that's
thing we're
something
looking
I'm
at
trying to work
here,
on.
yes. So the third thing we're looking at here is the entry type. You might need to adjust this volume because it will be better to explain the trades in a much better way. So, for example, personally, I can't figure out what, aside the fact that this is an impulse, I can't really figure out like if it's a breakout or anything like that. So I think for USD card, a breakout retest will fly here. Okay, a breakout retest will
Yeah.
fly. I think that's it. A breakout retest on this is a better explanation than an impulse. You get, and I'm pretty sure it
Mhm.
is the same for like some other pairs here, because I looked at gold, I looked at AD card, some of the examples I saw here that made me a little bit confused. But yeah, I think if you hold up, let me see. So the entry type, these are the three things I think you might need to adjust. Let me see. I think when it comes to the time frames, the session, I don't really have a problem with the session. So the time frames, I don't want to dwell too much on these things because I already know that you're going to have a different result by adjusting these three things: entry type, P&L, and then closing out early. So then we might begin to focus on your time frames, okay? Because I'm not really seeing the difference between your losses and wins from the time frames, right? I'm seeing the differences between losses and wins and your P&L from these things. Closing out too early, not having a fixed risk, and not identifying what exactly is getting you into the trade. That the three things I've noticed. So I don't want to really delve into time frames when the time frames may not really be a problem. So I think we'll just keep on time frames from now. So if you make these adjustments, I think when we review the journal a second time, then we might look to see if maybe your time frames play a huge role in the wins and losses. But for now, those are the three things that I personally noticed. So how do you feel? Do you think you can make these adjustments?
Yes, of course.
All right. So we are doing that, and I think you'd be much better. Okay, much better. And like I said, if it's possible to have an account that you're taking the exact trades, so that your P&L will reflect the exact same thing as your journal is saying, it'll be fine. Okay, because like I said, it holds you accountable to your trades. It just makes you take the trades better because you don't see like sometimes when you just track the trades and you see that maybe you're down 3 hours, down 4 hours, sometimes it may not really hit. When you see that on your account, yeah, it will hit. So I think it forces you to take better trades, to be honest. So that's why I'm also employing you guys to take that up, taking trades on an Apple account because it will be much better. So let me see if we have another example here. This trade played out, but you closed out because you thought it was going to reverse. All right. So yeah, closing out early is clearly a problem. So yeah, like we said, it's something that has to be worked on. Some of the things I'm noticing is the levels you're using for the trades. So, but like I said, I don't want to speak too much on those things yet until you adjust these three things we've spoken about. Once you do that, I think we can now focus on other things. Okay, but I'm also confused to some extent about the levels you're using for the trades. Okay, but that's okay, that's fine. Let's tackle these adjustments first. Okay, I think the next time we're looking at your journal, maybe you can just send it to me, right? Just send it to me when there's an update. I'll have a look at it, and yeah, we'll go from there. So yeah, I think that's okay.
Yeah, my P&L would be way higher if I just stuck to the original plan.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I said, when I came here first and I looked at this, I saw that you had more wins. So that was first of all interesting. But then I saw that your P&L was not reflecting the wins. I would see you up 4.2 hours, but then your P&L is like 42, and I'm like, if you lose 60 on the trade, then I mean this is supposed to be like what 240, right? But it wasn't like 240. So I'm like, why is that the case? And I think these are the reasons why. So if you can make this adjustment, then of course there will be a change in your P&L, obviously. So let's see how the adjustment take effect. And I think we'll move from there.
Okay.
So yeah.
I understand.
All right. So I think this is where this is the most we'll take. Now I'm uploading our recordings of our sessions, and I think I'm done uploading everything. The only thing I've not uploaded is this week, so Monday and today. But I think before the end of the week, that should be done. So I think from next week, once our session is done, I think a day or two after we get the recording uploaded. Sorry, it's sent out on Telegram, so that those who could not watch the company sessions will have the opportunity to watch the recordings of the live sessions. So I think there's that, and also, yeah, back testing. So we looked at most journals, and I think it might be time to, yes, speak on back testing. So that's what we're going to do. Today's Thursday. I'm not sure. Let's see how next week will look, because I want to kind of prepare it properly so that we can have a proper class or session on that. And I think I'll try my best to do that before Monday or before Thursday at least, so that we can now start speaking about back testing. Now, back testing will take us maybe I don't know, maybe another 2 weeks to speak on that. And yeah, I think we'll take it from there. All right. Do any of you have the pro versions to TradingView? Anyone here who uses like the premium versions, essential versions? Anyone here?
Yes, I do.
Oh, Johnny. Okay. All right. Just you. All right. Yeah. Okay. I understand. Because it might be important for our session, but the thing is, I don't think we have to each go and pay for that, because it will cost money, and of course, it is per month. I have a version I can use to backtest, so I think I'll use mine. I'll show you guys what I have to show you. But let's see how the next few sessions will go. Now, if you have the free version, I think you can backtest from the daily time frame. The only time you have an issue is if you're scaling down to like 4-hour time frame, the 1-hour time frame. But if you're just checking for the daily time frame and above, you can use the free version to backtest on TradingView. I had the other softwares, but I'm not so interested in most of them. And I just like trading, to be honest. That's just my preference. But that's okay. And again, like I said, I'll brief you guys on how we go. I'll show you guys what I have. All right. So, do you guys have any other questions before we officially wrap up the session today?
Okay, Casey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think my own journal have not been able. You haven't been able to review my own journal, so I was kind of curious. Maybe I was able to miss a particular session, but I believe that I've been quite consistent. Like every session we do have, but you're not talking about my journal, so I just have to bring that up. I was thinking maybe we are going according to like first people that sent theirs in, but it seems as if you are trying to round up the journal review or something. So that's it.
Oh, really? Oh, ouch. Okay, sorry, that's my bad. I thought I reviewed this with who was that? I think I was Damien or George. Or I didn't. Oh, okay. My bad. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I looked at this. Okay, I didn't review it. Oh, that's the difference. Okay, so here's what I think we'll do. Here's what I think we'll do. Here's what I think we'll do. So what I would do here is because I have to take my time to do this. So I think is like one of the things we do on Monday, right? So let's keep it to Monday. I thought I already done this. So is there any other person that have not reviewed his or her journal? Who else? I thought I did everyone. Okay, but yeah, yes, I'll do this on Monday. So I would review before Monday, of course, and then I'll let you know what I found. Okay, so that, and then yeah, we'll move forward from there. Okay, so I think that's what to do. Is that fine?
All right. Yeah. All right. No problem. Thank you.
All right. Sorry, I thought I already done this already. So, but that's okay. All right. So, any other questions, please? Any other questions? So hold up. Sorry, these trades you have open, colors. These trades that are in progress. Have any of these trades played out, or
Only
they are all still in progress?
all still in progress. Just USD card that actually did stop out, I think yesterday. But every other one, they are all still in progress. Just as you said, we should give a space for the new trade we're taking on the MT5 so that we can see the result of what we're journaling. So I think those 5 trades are actually in progress, and they are all
Oh,
going well. Yeah. So pound NZD still
okay.
holding pound NZD for like almost a month now or something. Yeah, I think. But though it's not
Yeah.
among the new accounts I got, which I'm taking these other ones that I journal. I actually have it running on my previous account. So that's it. Just the pound NZD.
Okay. 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 Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would, yeah, I'll take my time to review this. Okay, I'll do this. Yeah, Monday. I will, of course, I'm feeling. On Monday, I'll get you my review. All right.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
All right. All right. So, yeah, no questions. And in the absence of any questions, I think um, this is where we'll take our session. Right. Call it quits here to the cotton, and I would see you guys on Monday. Now, May is winding down, and of course, like I said, it's one of the best months we're having. Yeah, which is pretty interesting. But let's see. Let's keep up the pace. Stay strong with our risk management, and yeah, see how it goes. So once again, thank you guys for showing up. Yes, it makes me happy to see you guys every week, and I'll see you guys in the next session. All right.
Right. Okay, bye.
Thank you, Casey. Have a good
Yeah,
day.
of course. You too.
Thank
You
you
guys
very
take care.
much.
So, stop recording.